Hey, welcome to this live stream called Frumpy to Foxy. So I'm just using a new app called StreamYard, and I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. So one of the annoying things is I have to look into this little green dot on my camera so that it doesn't look like I'm looking away, which is really weird, looking at a green dot and doing a live stream. But anyways, one sec. Just want to see what's going on in this group here. I've seen that in other people's live streams when they do this, there's like a specific link you have to click to get on. I don't know if it's showing you that, so I'm just going to check. Possibly I have to check in multiple spots to see if there's any comments. Okay, let's see. Okay. And can I invite people? No. Okay. This will be new. Interesting to get used to. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say anything special here. All right, well, let's get started. So I wanted to do this live stream today because I feel like it's super, super important to talk about how we carry ourselves and, you know, what it really means to be attractive. And why I think this is so important is because I think far too often in our culture, because of our, you know, the way we're raised with magazine covers and like actresses in movies, models, all that kind of thing. What we're taught as women is that in order for ourselves to be attractive, we have to be looking a certain way, right? So unrealistic ideals based on, you know, unfortunately, a lot of these women are starving themselves or they have to work out for like hours and hours a day to maintain this specific shape that's like unrealistic. Like you basically have to either not have a life, or you have to be a fitness fanatic, or you have to be doing so much working out because that is like what's required for your job to keep up a certain look, which is not really realistic for, you know, the average woman. So I think that, and then there's this other aspect of it where as women, we have this tendency to want to be perfect. It's like this thing that we do as women. And so what we do is we think to ourselves, well, if I don't live up to what this, you know, society's standard of perfect, that means that I'm not attractive. And actually, attractiveness really has nothing to do with a specific body shape or a specific body size. It's really about how you carry yourself, right? And, you know, as women, how we carry ourselves is actually going to make it whether we are attractive to others. And also whether we feel good about ourselves. So if we're just, you know, thinking to ourselves like, oh, well, I don't fit up to the beauty standards of society, and so therefore I'm just going to wear frumpy, baggy clothes that are going to cover all these roles, you know, that I don't see as being attractive in this society, then what we're actually doing is not being attractive, right? Like attractiveness has nothing to do with your physical body shape. It has to do with how you carry yourself. It has to do with like what shines from the inside. It has to do with your style. It has to do with how you stand. It has to do with how you walk, right? These things are what are attractive. And, you know, as far as attracting the opposite sex, with men, yeah, there are certain men who've bought into, you know, this, like, there's this one, you know, body shape that, you know, is in TV or magazines or whatever. That's the only attractive body shape there is. You know, just as much as maybe we've been brainwashed to believe that. But there's also a lot of Men that would tell you that actually it's an energy or that feminine expression of energy that's attractive. So when you're in like frumpy mode and you're trying to cover yourself, your body up, and you're acting like you don't want to be seen, that's not attractive, right? And that is basically going to perpetuate itself. The more you feel frumpy, the more you're going to not take care of yourself, right? So the idea of attractiveness being related to a certain body size is not, it's just not the thing. And sometimes it's hard to see that on yourself, right? Like you might believe what I'm saying, and then you look at yourself and you feel differently. But then when you see other people, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you can be walking down the street and see a woman with like so-called conventionally perfect body. And if she is wearing a sweat like pants or whatever, a long t-shirt covering herself, her butt, everything, it just kind of looks frumpy and it doesn't really turn your head, right? And then, you know, you can see a woman who is like obviously overweight, even obese, who is, you know, dolled herself up, who has like, you know, beautiful accessories on. Her clothes are like fitting to her body, and she's carrying her head high and her shoulders back, and she's happy and exuding femininity, and she's attractive and she's beautiful and she catches your eye, right? So, you know, first of all, we have to actually recognize that attractiveness doesn't have to do with body shape. It has to do with how we carry ourselves. So what does this have to do with weight loss? Well, you could just, accept your body as it is. And that would be fine, of course, if body weight didn't reflect a health imbalance. Okay. So if you're underweight or overweight to a large degree, then that is a sign that it's basically a body system imbalance. So what it's pointing to is that there is something that needs to come into balance. So of course we want to address excess weight or being underweight from a health perspective, right? But what I see as a problem that people do when they're overweight is that they carry themselves in a frumpy way instead of a foxy or a sexy way, because they're telling themselves that they're not going to, dress in a way that inspires them or that they love or that they feel is a real true reflection of their inner self until they lose the weight, right? But unfortunately, holding on to your body or holding on to the frumpiness, like, keeping these clothes that you don't feel good in them, right? That maybe you're overweight clothes, and wearing them all the time to hide yourself is just going to actually perpetuate being overweight. And here's why. So you basically command your mind and your body through your thoughts and your feelings. So if you are feeling frumpy, what you're going to do is tell your body that that is your self-image, right? So you're telling your body that this is how things are, and they're not going to change, right? It's like literally a message to your body that you do not believe, number one, that you're sexy or foxy, and that you are basically believe that you can continue to be overweight. It's a command, right? It's coming from your self-image. So you have to actually change your self-image. You have to command your body that you're healthy, happy, sexy, radiant through how you feel and how you think and perceive yourself. And then your body actually matches that, because your mind commands your body. Your body follows your mind. Okay? So how you would do that is first of all, you have to if you tell your body and your mind that, like, it's almost like you have to prove to yourself that you do believe that you are not only beautiful, sexy, foxy now, but that you're going to be continuing into higher levels of beautiness and foxiness and sexiness, right? So you do that by your action that you take. So here's a couple things that you could do. One is you can literally go through your closet right now and, look at all the stuff that you have in your closet, everything that you just wear because it's like, it just covers your roles. You don't like it. You don't feel beautiful in it. You just do it. Simply you wear it to cover yourself up. That stuff has to go. Okay. Now, at the size you are, there are lots of beautiful clothes that would look good on you, that would emphasize the beautiful features that you have. There's no reason that you have to wear frumpy clothes. Like, every time I'm in the mall, I can't remember, I wish I could remember the name of this store, but there's this really cool plus size store in the mall here in Kelowna. And every time I walk past it and I see all these beautiful clothes and they're on plus size mannequins and they look gorgeous, right? Like they're totally gorgeous. There's no reason why you have to wait until you get to a certain weight to dress beautiful and sexy. So that would be commanding your mind and your body by taking that action, by getting rid of those clothes that represent that for you, that are basically programming your body to continue to be the same, to fit into those clothes, to now having a self-perception of being beautiful and sexy at the size that you are and treating yourself like that, that's who you are, that you are beautiful and sexy, and you're going to create more and beautiful, more sexiness and beauty in your life. It's also part of accepting where you're at, right? So one of the first things that you have to do to lose weight permanently is accept your body where it's at. Because if you don't, what you're going to be doing is commanding your body to be whatever the voices in your head that you're telling yourself now. Like every single time you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, there's a lot of different voices that come up, and you make judgments on yourself. So whenever you do that, those are commands that you're telling your body to continually to create in your life. So you have to literally make this change of accepting your body the way it is right now and making the most of what you have, right? They have that saying, like, if you got it, flaunt it. Well, unfortunately, when we're in this place where we're avoiding being seen, we're not even flaunting the things that we do appreciate about ourselves. Right? We're just trying to hide. So it's not enough to understand this or know this or recognize that your behaviors, your emotions, and your mindset is literally commanding your body. It's not going to change anything until you take action. So you're really going to have to do this. You're going to have to stop holding on to skinny clothes and stop holding on to frumpy clothes. Right? Have you ever done this thing where you've been like, I've done this before, where I've been like, oh, there's something like I don't really feel that great in it, but I'm like, oh, but if I'm bloated or something like that, I should have this thing, right? Because then it's gonna it's not gonna cling to my belly or something, like when I menstruate and I'm bloated. It's basically that decision to do that is basically telling your body that we will be bloating in the near future, right? However, on the other side of things, if you start to wear clothes that you feel gorgeous and beautiful in, and you start to feel attractive, then you start to actually take action in terms of like how you feed yourself and how you take care of yourself as somebody who cares about themselves, right? Somebody who cares about themselves has different choices around what they're going to eat or what they're going to wear, right? And so if you're constantly avoiding things that are tight because you're not wanting your bloated belly to be seen, then you're going to continue to take the actions that lead to a bloated belly, right? But if you're feeling great about yourself and you feel good and you have energy, and then you have gross processed food in front of you that is going to bloat you, and you're wearing, something that you feel beautiful, and you're going to think twice, right, about sabotaging that feeling with those negative foods that have that negative impact to be bloating your body. So, it's a really, really simple thing to do, but it's hard, right? Because it's hard to let go of those things. But you literally have to be making decisions that are cutting off from old ways of being. So that's what a decision means. It means to cut off from. So if you keep those fat clothes, then you're basically you're projecting, you're showing that you have a negative expectation that you're not going to be successful. And you're telling your body that that's the direction you're going, that you're planning to go backwards. And you can't, you just can't fight against that. You have to throw those clothes out. Like if you have clothes that are from an upper size, you got to get rid of them. And then you got to start buying clothes that are perfect for the size of the body you're at. And if money is an issue, you don't have to go out and buy, new clothes that are like designer labels. You can literally go to a secondhand store, thrift shop, vintage store, and start buying for your current size right now. And that's, of course, more affordable. And as you continue to drop in size, you don't keep those clothes, right? Like, it's just really, really, really important. So your mind commands your body. And a lot of how we make commands to our body is a lot of the things that we're doing to do that are saying the words I am. Okay, so if you are dressing in a way that makes you feel frumpy, and then you look in the mirror and you start saying things like I'm fat, I'm frumpy, I have rolls, I don't like this, or all these different things that are typical for what we say when we're judging ourselves, then we are commanding the body to continue to be that. So how can you adorn yourself, dress yourself in a way that makes you say the opposite? Like, I look good, I feel sexy, I feel beautiful. Even if it's just, a few different accessories, right? It's that can sometimes be, maybe the first goal could be to choose things that are more feminine, that make you feel more light. It doesn't have to necessarily be like, super tight clinging to yourself, but maybe there's a certain part of your body that you really do feel is beautiful. Can you emphasize that spot of your body and make your clothes, your wardrobe more form-fitting to that area, right? But you can't wait until somewhere in the future where you get to this ideal body weight or shape to start taking care of your body in the best way possible now, and having that reflected by the choices of how you choose to embody your body and how you choose to step into the world. And that's the problem, right? It's like literally the problem is choosing to cover ourselves up and to hide. And that is going to do nothing but keep everything the same, right? It's like if you're wearing something that you feel gross in, and you feel overweight in it, and instead of feeling like it's, a reflection of your style and like you feel beautiful and feminine, then when you're presented with a choice around food, it's going to be really, really easy to go for the thing that is not going to be good for you and is going to cause bloating, or puffiness, because you're like, I already feel like shit, so what difference does it make? Have you ever said that before? I know I have. So my challenge to you today is to get into your closet, look through your clothes, and pull out the ones that you're just keeping to hide yourself, and only keep the clothes that represent you feeling beautiful, clothes that you love, and then go shopping. Go buy clothes in your size that make you feel beautiful at this size. Okay. And part of this is actually releasing attachment, right? This is you really have to release your attachment to a certain weight and a certain body shape before you can have it. The more you want and need and are attached to something, the more negative energy and emotional baggage that you're going to have around it, and you're going to keep recreating that in your life. So the first step for anything in life is to release our attachment to it. And one of the ways to release your attachment to your ideal weight so that you can have it is to currently just accept your body as it is and make the absolute most of it, how it looks, and also how you feed it so that you are feeling energized, right? Like different foods have a different effect in your body. So if you can eat for energy and beauty, then you're going to actually experience more energy and more beauty in the future. And you can just relax about how long it takes to let go of that weight. All right. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.